Are we live? We are live. Yes, we are. Good afternoon. I'm checking y'all to make sure we live, honey, because I can't see us on. There we are. Yes, we are. Let me mute myself. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm going to turn my sound down, y'all, because I don't want any echoes and I want to be able to hear everybody and everyone to be able to hear me. So, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for joining us for another author spotlight interview. It's so exciting. I don't get to do them as often as I used to. So I get really, really excited when I get to come on here and kick it with somebody or kick it with a former author, a former client, a current client, whatever it is that we have going on here at Victoria Shoe Press. So let me just introduce myself real quick here. My name is Angela M. Mitchell. I am the Director of Marketing and Advertising here at Victoria Shoe Press. And yeah, and again, like I said, we're having an author spotlight interview. And today we're going to be talking to author Trina San. She has been one of our authors. She's actually a co-author of mine. We were in the Image in the Mirror 2 together. We did a documentary together. We did a few things, right? And so it's really, really exciting to, just kick it with her and see where she's at and what's going on in her life as an author. She's a international best-selling author, right? So join us, pull up a seat. Wait, I'm trying to see. I'm going to make sure. Oh, we don't need that up there. Pull up a seat, join us, invite some people to the group to join us, share the broadcast, follow us on our Victoria Shoe Press page, head over to YouTube, follow us and subscribe to us over there. Share, 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 pull up and kick it with us for a few minutes today, right? So without further ado, and I love to say that, without further ado, I'm going to bring up here, and y'all, it's a little dark for me because I broke my ring light, but we rocking with it, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up our guest today, Miss Trina San. Welcome to the stage, girl.
Great
Welcome
afternoon.
to the stage. Good
Thank
afternoon.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you? Let me turn up my.
I am doing well.
Yeah, I like to hear that. I like to hear that. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. What's going on? What you been up to?
Working on some stuff behind the scenes, a little bit of this and that.
I can
So
dig it. I
some
can dig
things
it.
I'm not revealing just yet because
Not just
they
yet.
are in the works. But yeah, I'm a crafty person. I'm an
I
artist.
like it.
I'm a creative. I'm a
Yeah,
creative.
yeah.
Period.
I can dig it. So, introduce yourself and let the people know who you are, a little bit about yourself, what you do.
Trina San, aka Trina Stroud Boyton. And I am, as Angela said, I'm an international best-selling author, two-time best-selling author, uh, grandmother, nana of three,
Yeah.
mom of two, and a definite creative. I love to create different things, like to have fun. I enjoy life. I'm loving where I am right now as
Yeah.
as we transition into 2024.
Right.
I'm looking forward to some amazing things next year. I'm also an author coach,
Okay.
certified author coach.
Damn.
And man, I can't even think of everything else, but so
That's right. That's all right because that's what we are as women. We are many, many, many things, right? But we are awesome in all of them. At least I know,
yeah,
I know that we are, right? I know
yeah.
that we are. So tell me, how did you connect with Victoria Shoe Press? How did that come about?
Everything is done by God's divine plan. And little did I know when I met Joan Randall that I don't think she had a publishing company at the time,
Okay.
but I met her at church. And how about probably 2 years later, I don't even know now, that I saw from another author that she was working with Victoria Shoe Press, and she said Joan's name. And I remembered her from being
Okay.
at church before because we were no longer congregating at this place. And I reached out to her and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I think I'm gonna write a book. And I had maybe 4 pages. And my husband, well, he was my husband at the time, my fiance at the time, was encouraging me to write the rest of my story. And I was like, but I only have like a little bit. And she just encouraged me I could do it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do it. And that's how I got connected with Victoria Shoe Press, and the
I
rest
love
is
it.
history.
I love it. What was the title for that first book?
Mending My Broken Pieces, My
Mhm.
Journey to Wholeness.
Yes, yes, yes. And that was book number one, right?
That was
Because
my
that
first.
was before anything to do with the image in the mirror and all of that good stuff. So yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
awesome, awesome, awesome. What is the backstory though with mending my broken pieces? Give us a little bit of that, a little bit of a
A little
backstory.
bit of backstory. So my life has been a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah,
When I look back over, gosh, how I came through, and some of the things I still have to go. Now, how did I get through that again? I don't know. Like I had a really simple household when growing up.
right.
Great mom and dad. My dad was a recovering alcoholic. My mom, was diagnosed with a mental disorder. But other than
Mhm.
that, I played outside. I did the normal stuff.
Yeah,
There were things that shaped my life. And those things my parents didn't know about. Some of them they weren't aware of. And
right.
so I used to write, even as a little girl, a young lady. I wrote down what I was feeling, and I wrote poetry,
Yeah,
and so this book was birthed out of my ups and downs, marriages, failed marriages, a guy trying to rape me,
Mhm.
weight going up and down, how I used food to go through life, and
Yeah,
how jacked up my life was to me at that time, and losses, but also how God restored me through those losses, even though there were losses and some sadness, some
yeah,
anger, some hurt and pain. I look back and I can see how God has brought me so far. And not to get ahead if you have this as a question, but I have seen too, like even though that book was released in 2020,
okay,
2020 was released in 2021. Um, I've seen how uh, my challenges, the things that I've walked through, have been a gift for me to share with someone else.
yeah, yeah,
It's what propelled a lot of my different conversations with women, or even with my grandson. And so I share bits and pieces of my life with him to encourage him. But I've done that with many other women as well. Just like, this is what happened to me. You're not the only one. You
mhm.
understand? Because for me, I always thought I was the only one that was going through stuff. Like,
Right.
why am I the only one? God, why am
Yeah,
I going through this?
yeah,
And that book was birthed out of that. And I was, extremely proud that I got it done, first of all, in such a short period of time. Because I hear people
right.
stories, they're like, I've been working on this, and I have about 20 pages, like I've been working on this for 50 years. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
and ain't never get it out there.
like, because you do know you can write a second book. It doesn't have to all be in
Right,
this
right,
book.
right. Uh-uh.
So that's how Mending My Broken Pieces came about.
Now, number two was, of course, the image in the mirror too. So tell us, a little bit about that and participating in that and what you shared there, a little bit about, to kind of segue into that a little
That process was a little different for me, of course. I enjoyed it because it was shorter writing. And
bit.
for me,
Yeah,
I was like, well, I write this many pages for school. I went to school for psychology.
yeah,
And I'm like, I've written pages longer than this. So
right.
it was a simple process of doing it. And that we took a piece from Mending My Broken Pieces
Okay.
and expound on that for my chapter in The Image in the Mirror 2, which was
Yes.
the An Unlikely Love. And it talks about my relationship with my late husband, how we came to meet, and him and his little wit, and uh, and our ups and downs in our relationship. But there again, how God brought us together. And I didn't know at the time. Well, I say I didn't know. I didn't really know at the time why he was in my life, and
Right.
why I was in his. But as time progressed, and I talk about this in the chapter, he, was diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
And
Right.
so he was the catalyst to help me write and encourage me to keep going forward in my gift.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was there to be his support, his love, till we had fun together and things of that nature. So that's what that chapter was, for me. And it was really, I want to use that chapter to help other women as well who might be in a relationship and they're like, well, I love this man, but we got some challenges.
Right. Right.
Should I accept this? Should I not? We don't ever know for sure. We can run away for something that's really good to us,
Absolutely.
and it doesn't seem like it is. Um, but if we have a relationship with God, I truly believe that you will be aware of whether you should or should not be in that relationship or not. As
Yes,
long as it's
ma'am.
not abusive, I think, you can kind of look at that and see what it is. This was just my
Right.
process, and I've
Right.
been through lots of relationships. And I'd say my husband was the only person that loved me as much in the way he did. That is the
Mhm.
closest thing, other than the God's love, that I would say was true, true love. That he totally loved me unconditionally. I don't care how crazy I was, what I said, what I did. He loved me in spite of. And that's, kind of a little bit of what I talk about in that book. Like, who, what, why, like, why?
Because you were deserving of it. You know what I mean? We are all deserving of that love, right? That unconditional love, loving you to wholeness, loving you through all of your nonsense and your craziness. And,
Exactly.
we definitely all deserve that love. And it's, we all don't find it in our lifetime. So it's amazing that you were able to do so,
Yes.
and then share that story
Yeah.
with other women. So that gives, that gives hope. You know what I mean? That gives hope.
I hope so.
Um, Number three, because I believe, didn't you have one more?
Yeah, another anthology. That is correct.
One more, didn't you
Yes.
have just one more? Just one more.
Journey to Joan. Yes.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. Because that one was a completely different dynamic, right? That was a completely different dynamic.
It was.
I'm just going to say a little bit for you guys that don't know. Trina was a part of the Books to Business boot camp, right? So she was in the boot camp, and every year in this boot camp, I was in the boot camp as well, the first year, and then I was the accountability. I don't know why I can never say that word, lead, with the all the subsequent classes. So she was in that boot camp, and there is a project, a group project, and so I'm thinking y'all project is gonna be, y'all gonna have an event. You know what I mean? That's what we did for the last couple years, the first couple years in the group, and then y'all bust out with a book.
That's out with a book.
Y'all busted out with a book. I thought that was so amazing, man. So tell us about, this journey to Joan and this anthology or book collaboration.
Yeah, it was great. I think it's always great when women particularly can work together
Yes, ma'am. Right.
and come together and trust the process. Trust the
Right.
process. Ask God for guidance. Bring God into everything, and just like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And
Right.
I'd have to say I was a little apprehensive because I know the process of writing a book, and I think
Yeah.
most of these women were not familiar with that process.
Yes.
So I have to admit, I was like, oh boy, they got to be kidding. But I'm like, okay, we gonna write, and
Right.
just writing how I came to know Joan and my process of becoming a writer. Like I
Okay.
said, I started writing when I was young. I wish that I could get my hands on some of the stuff that I wrote when I was in junior high school, and high school.
Mm-hmm.
But that
Mm-hmm.
process was just really like, this is how I knew that God wanted me to write. Um,
Right.
but it wasn't for anybody who thinks, oh no, I can't do that. You can, I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
anybody can do it. it takes time, yes, but I believe that everybody has a story, but I
That's
believe
it.
anybody can write. And that's what this book did. Is to encourage anyone who is interested in writing. Get the book, read it,
Yeah.
check it out. It'll
You're right.
encourage you to continue the journey of writing.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I think that's an important point that you make, and you can do it. I think people, when you hear write a book, you know what I mean? Because I remember the first, when I joined the first anthology, it made it a little less scary, right? Because it's a chapter, but it's still like, write a book. Who wants to read my story, or how can I get this book written? Or it seems like it's just so much to do that you'll never be able to get it done, but it's definitely doable. And I think it's worth doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think it's worth doing, leaving your legacy. When people Google you 20, 30 years from now, you know what I mean? They're going to pull up your accomplishments. They're going to pull up your books. You popping up on Amazon, and you will be affecting lives long after you gone from here. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best parts, of being able to write a book, man, is that. Now, do you have any more? I know you are creative. Do you plan on writing any more?
Yes, I'm actually 2 books behind.
Uh-oh.
And I wrote a journal, but after careful review, I need to go back and redo it. So
Okay.
yeah, and I thought, because I was like beating myself, I'm like, I'll spend all this money, got this book that. It was like, Trina, I think every person out there has done something and go, yeah, I'm gonna have to scrap this and start all over.
Yeah, start over, huh?
Yeah, and so I'm gonna have to scrap it and start all over, and it's okay. I'm gonna build on what I have.
Right.
And I've gotten some feedback from a close friend of mine who's also a creative. And
Cool.
so that's been good to get her feedback on that. And it's always good to get somebody else's feedback, because left to my own devices, I'd have been like, it would have been just sitting in the box. Although my daughter
Mhm.
was the first one to buy a copy. So when I release the new one, I'm going to have to just give her one. And my loctician bought one as well. But yeah, it's I don't have, again, I'm 2 books behind.
Right. So
But
you got to get busy.
I got to get busy. Yes, I'm 2 books behind. And a girlfriend of mine told me that a couple of months ago. She said, Trina, you're 2 books behind. I said, I know, I'm getting there. In the process, I've been doing reefs and doing all this other stuff because the holidays were coming upon me. So
Yes. I
yes,
love those wreaths
thank
they are so doggone pretty. They really, really are. Now, how long have you been doing that? I know you said you create, and I've seen a lot of the things, over the years, that you posted, different things that you created. How long have you been doing those
you.
things, the
Long
crafting?
time.
Yeah.
I have a so I'm gonna try to make this. When the church I grew up in, I was like I was the craft lady for youth church. Okay. So I've been doing crafts, and my children are 40 and 35. So I did that when they were in middle school and elementary.
Okay.
So a
Okay.
long time, even before then, I was
Right.
creating stuff. So I've always had it. And when I was through my first marriage, my daughter and I were laughing about this. My first husband bought me a craft case. I still have that craft case.
Wow.
And I've had to take stuff out and get rid of it, and I have more stuff. But I know how to crochet. I know how. I mean, like, I
Ooh.
learned how to do macrame, cross stitch, needlepoint. Girl, I've done it.
Yeah.
My sister, one of my sisters, my middle sister said, Trina, we just bought you stuff to keep you busy because you were at home with just mom and dad.
Right. Right.
And so they did. And so the first thing they bought me was a sewing machine. And then I started out making, what was the first thing I made? Oh, I did these string art kits, and I used to do rugs, latch hook rug kits. And so that's
Ooh.
how I started crafting. That was the beginning of my
I
crafting.
love it.
And then when I would visit my sister in Ohio, she would take me to the craft store because she did
Mhm.
crafts. So it's not like I got away from it. That's just,
Right.
I
Right. Right.
enjoyed working with my hands.
That is awesome, and oh my goodness, you bringing back memories for me, especially around Christmas time. My mother, we used to do the latch hook rugs and the cross stitch, and we made all of the the ornaments and different things like that. And it was wow, what was the name of that store? Pleasures and Pastimes. I used to love that crafting store. It was probably local, here in the Buffalo area or something. But just it was very, I guess when I think about it now, therapeutic as a child to be able to, work with your hands and do all of that. So I think that is pretty doggone cool. So yeah, I like it. I like it. So
Yeah,
tell people, I know you also have a group, right?
I do. I do.
What you doing over there? What you doing over there in that group? What's going on over there?
Nothing's going on at the moment. I got to build on that group. I've been kind of incognito lately,
Right.
but I'm getting ready to build on. I was just actually thinking about that this morning. It's funny that you would ask me that.
See.
So
I
yeah.
come with I gotta know. I come with the questions. I gotta know.
So this morning it hit me because I do like to give inspirational messages,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they normally are random, but I do believe that in the new year that'll be something that I will be doing in my group a whole lot more. I'll be posting things that are, and I was posting a lot of inspirational
Right.
things. So I'll be doing a whole lot more of that in the new year. Some talks, and they're normally God inspired, or I have a moment that something will happen to me, and I think I did one was about 2 weeks ago with some lights on my head.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was all about one of the lights was out, and so I built on that, talking about being a light for other people because I had three lights that was lit and one was not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be doing more in my group and some public stuff. You'll see more of that.
Okay. I can dig it. I love it. I love it. The marketer in me loves it. I
I
love to see
know,
it.
I know.
I love to see it. I ain't gonna see, eyeballs and nothing like that. But I love to see it. Well, that's really amazing. So tell people how they can get in touch with you, website, anything like that. Tell them how they can reach out to you.
Yeah, everything is on my website, trinasan621.com. You can sign up for coaching, author coaching, or you can get my books there.
Okay.
I encourage you to sign up because eventually I will be having a newsletter come out. So I would encourage you to at least put your information out there so I can stay in contact with you.
I like it. I'm putting it in the thing right now so the people can. I think I'm putting it in here. I ain't got my glasses on. I don't know why I sit here and act like I can see y'all, but we're gonna make it do what it do. So I did. I put your website.
Gotcha. There it is.
I'll put it in there. I'll put it in there. It's in there. It's in there. But it has been, of course, a pleasure as always. I love to be able to kick it with you and have a nice conversation. We need to, do something offline. Maybe have a Zoom. I feel like we should have a reunion.
I agree.
I'm so serious of the Mag 7. I want to see what y'all doing and everybody get together and kick it for a few minutes. So we
And
got
we're
to put
actually
that.
planning to go. We were supposed to be doing something in 2024 together, a year
Yeah.
reunion, and we're
Okay.
supposed to actually go to Vegas. So
Ooh, okay, Vegas. I can't wait to see
one of
these
the ladies
pictures.
lives there, so that's where we're gonna go.
Oh yeah, Miss Sophie. Okay.
Yep,
Well, I look
yep.
forward to seeing it. I can't wait to see it. But again, thank you for stopping by here to kick it with me. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more stuff. You 2 books behind, man. So I'm looking forward, to seeing it catch up. I'm gonna be all up in the Victorious You Press email. What Trina San doing? What's going on? What's up? So
I
I
know.
will be on the
You'll
lookout.
see it. Keep your eyes open. I'll be out there.
I will. I will. And again, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
All right, honey. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Always a good time to to talk and kick it with Trina. She's so cool. I love it. I love it. You have to go to her website. Check out some of these books. You know what I mean? Buy a book. Journey to Joan was a good one. It was definitely a good book. I read that. Of course, The Image in the Mirror too. I was in it, so I know it was good. And Mending My Broken Pieces, all really good books. So go ahead and go to her website, and you guys can get in on that. Before I end, I just want to tell you about some announcements that we have coming up going forward in the new year. We have a lot of exciting things going on here in Victoria Shoe Press. One of which, our next, well, maybe not the next one, there's probably another one in between, but on Friday, January 12th, we're going to be doing a special authors, it's not really an author spotlight, but a special introduction to the newest member of our team, Mrs. Leslie Cottrell. She is our director of operations. So we're going to be introducing her. That's Friday, January 12th. But also coming up, and you'll see another event pop up in the group. On February 21st, 4th, she's going to be teaching a class. I did a poll, I believe, a little while ago, and I asked you guys here in the group, what was the biggest challenge when it comes to writing your book or getting started writing your book? And so she's going to be teaching on that. We listened, you guys told us, and so we listened. And it's called Write Right. The first time she's going to help you craft your manuscript. And so you can get it published, right? And get it to the marketplace. What else do we have going on? That's about it. Of course, our vault was now called the Publishing Suite, but that is open. It is always open for you guys to join. I'll drop a link down in there as well. And yeah, man, that's it. This is like the last author spotlight interview of 2023. It has been an amazing, amazing, amazing year. I'm so glad you guys have been rocking with us. The group is growing. I believe we're over 1,900 now. Our next goal is 2,000. Let's get it, y'all. So, invite some folks, tell a friend and tell a friend and bring a friend, and, let's get into it. So again, Angela and Mitchell, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me for another episode of Author Spotlight. And I can't wait to see you guys again. So see you later.